Hi, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to discuss about property parallelogram number 2 or parallelogram property number 2, since the last video that I uploaded is all about parallelogram property number 1. Okay, so let us now start our discussion. So here we are solving problems involving properties of parallelogram, especially parallelogram property number 2. Okay, in the last video that I uploaded, I have an assignment there about the topic solving properties of parallelogram using property number 1. Okay, so here is the problem. What is the perimeter of parallelogram solved given that SO is equal to 7x minus 1, OF is equal to 5x, FT or TF is equal to 6x, ST or TS is equal to 7x minus 2. Okay, so here is our solution. Since soft is a parallelogram, so SO is congruent to TF because SO and TF are opposite sides, and opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. Also, ST is congruent to OF. Again, these two sides are opposite. And then opposite sides of a parallelogram are congruent. So, in solving for x, since we have only one variable that is used, which is x, we can use this SO and TF, or we can also use ST or OF. It's either of the two in solving for the value of x. So here, ako gipakita din ang duha. So here, SO is equal to TF. It's because from definition of congruent segments, that if the two segments are congruent, then they are equal in measure. So by substitution, SO is equal to 7x minus 1 and TF is equal to 6x. Then solve for x. So here we use the idea of transposing. We transpose 6x to the left side of the equal sign, and we also transpose negative 1 to the right side of the equal sign to solve for x. Then by simplifying, 7x minus 6x, that is equal to x. So here x is equal to 1. You can also here we can also use ST and OF in solving for x. So if we use ST and OF, so here's our solution. Same, we substitute the value of ST, which is 7x minus 2, and also OF is equal to 5x. Then solving for x by combining like terms and the use of transposing. So 5x, we transpose to the left side of the equal sign, it becomes negative 5x. And also, negative 2 is transposed to the right side of the equal sign, it becomes positive 2. Then simplify, 7x minus 5x, that is equal to 2x equals 2. Divide both sides by 2 to solve for x, so x equals 1. Okay? And since we solve already the value of x, we can now find the measure of each sides. So SO is equal to TF. We use 6x here. We can also use 7x minus 1, but much easier to use 6x. No? Okay. So in finding the length of SO and TF, we substituted the value of x that we already solved here, which is equal to 1. So 6x times 1 is equal to 6. So SO and TF is equal to 6. And for ST and OF, we use equal to 5x because it's much easier than 7x minus 2. So by substitution, 5 times 1 is equal to 5. So since we define the values of, or the measure of SO, TF, and ST and OF, we can now find or solve the perimeter. So as we all know that perimeter is equal to sum of all sides. And there are four sides of this figure. So we have SO plus TF plus ST plus OF. By substitution, so we have an answer 22 units. So therefore, the perimeter of parallelogram soft is 22 units. Okay? So the next topic is parallelogram property number 2. States that in a parallelogram, any two opposite angles are congruent. So here's our illustration. In our figure, we have four angles here. So opposite angle of P, this one, is angle N. Okay? And opposite angle of M is angle O. Okay? If M and OP is parallelogram, then angle P is congruent to angle N. Okay? So these two angles are congruent. Opposite angles are congruent. And also angle M is congruent to angle O. Okay? So let us have an example. Y is a parallelogram. Consider each given information and answer the questions that follow. Okay, for number 1, the measure of angle EWI is 120 degrees. What is the measure of angle ESI? For number 2, the measure of angle WES is equal to 60 degrees. Find the measure of angle WIS. For number 3, the measure of angle WES is equal to the quantity of 2A plus 25 degrees, while the measure of angle WIS is the quantity of 3A minus 15 degrees. So here are the questions. What is the value of A? Next is, what is the measure of angle WES? And also, what is the measure of angle WIS? Okay, so here is our solution. Since Y is parallelogram, so its opposite angles are congruent. Thus, angle EWI is congruent to angle ESI. And angle WES is congruent to angle WIS. So, here is our solution for number 1. So, angle EWI is congruent to angle ESI because these two angles, based on our figure, are opposite angles. This one, okay? So since they are opposite angles, then they are congruent. So since they are congruent, they are equal in measure. So angle EWI is congruent to angle ESI. Then by substitution, since the given problem, the measure of angle EWI is 120, so by substitution, we also have angle ESI is equal to 120 degrees. So this is our final answer, that the measure of angle ESI is also equal to 120 degrees. Okay? For number 2, so here, the given problem number 2, the measure of angle WES is equal to 60 degrees. Find the measure of angle WIS. So the relationship between these two angles, angle WES and angle WIS, are opposite angles. Since they are opposite, then they are congruent. So if they are congruent, they are equal in measure. Then by substitution, the WES is equal to 60 degrees. So therefore, angle WIS is also equal to 60 degrees. Okay, for problem number 3, the measure of angle WES is equal to the quantity of 2A plus 25 degrees, while angle WIS measures the quantity of 3A minus 15 degrees. So here's the question number 1. First question, what is the value of A? Okay, so since our solution here, angle WES is congruent to angle WIS. Okay, because these two angles are opposite, and opposite angles are congruent. So if they are congruent, they are equal in measure. Then by substitution, from the given that angle WES is equal to 2A plus 25, and also angle WIS is 3A minus 15, then we combine like terms by the idea of transposing. So here we transpose 3A to the left side of the equal sign, and it becomes negative 3A. Also, positive 25 is transposed to the right side of the equal sign, then it becomes negative 25. So by simplifying, 2A minus 3A is equal to negative A. And negative 15 minus 25 is negative 40. Since ang atong A is negative, we can say, or we are going to make this A as positive. So by multiplying negative 1 both sides, or by dividing negative 1 both sides. So by multiplying both sides by negative 1, so we arrive that A is equal to 40. So therefore, the value of A is equal to 40. For letter B, so from the given problem, we know that the measure of angle WES is equal to 2A plus 25. And we already solved the value of A, which is equal to 40. What we are going to do here is by substitution. So 2A will become 2 times 40 because the value of A is 40. Then plus 25. Then multiply 2 times 40, that's 80, plus 25, that's 105 degrees. Okay, that's our answer in letter B. For letter C, okay, again, these two angles here are congruent because they are opposite angles. And then if they are congruent, then they're equal in measure. Then by substitution, because we already solved that WES is equal to 105 degrees, so we substituted here. Therefore, we can now say that measure of angle WIS is also equal to 105 degrees. Okay? So for your assignment, okay, gift is a parallelogram. Answer the following questions and write the letter of the correct answer. Okay, for number 1, what angle opposite to angle TGI or angle G? A, angle GTF, B, angle GIF, or C, angle FIG, and D, angle TFI. For number 2, which of the following statements is true? A, angle GTF is not congruent to angle GIF. B, angle GTF is congruent to angle GIF. C, angle TGI is not congruent to angle TFI. For letter D, none of the above. Number 3 question. Which angle opposite to angle GTF? A. Angle GIF. B. Angle TGI. C. Angle TFI. D. Angle IFT. For number 4, if measure of angle G is equal to the quantity of 3B minus 10 degrees and measure of angle F is equal to the quantity of B plus 60 degrees, what is the value of B? Okay, for number 5, what is the value of X and Y if measure of angle G is equal to the quantity of X minus Y degrees and the measure of angle I is equal to 110 degrees, the measure of angle F is equal to 70 degrees, and the measure of angle T is equal to 2x plus y quantity degrees? A. X equals negative 10, y is equal to 60. B. X equals to 10 and y is equal to 60. C. X equals 60, y equals negative 10. D. X equals negative 60, y equals positive 10. Okay, so I hope you can answer that one.